So they take the 3,200 or the 4,000 or the 6,000 or the 2,500 and they attribute these little shell trick to it. And they go, well, we've got 500 over here and 1,000 over here and 500 over here and 299 and 199. And then when they get done with it, how much do you think is left for your paid advertising budget, right?
Little to none.
Little to none. So they have this deal that, and the reason they do this is, multiple things. The first obvious thing is if they can cloud the water on your spend and you pay them directly, they can make more money.
Right.
The second reason they do it is because their SEO portion of their company is complete crap in almost every case.
Usually doesn't even exist. I mean, if they're not even doing GMB, they don't have any SEO. They're doing zero.
The biggest one they're doing zero. This is a
Yeah, I'll just say it. I mean, they're not doing very little. They're doing none.
Hey there, guys. It's Nolan Walker and Jason here with Plumbing Webmasters.
Howdy.
Jason, runs most of the stuff here, right?
I run this shit. I'm going to sound a little rough today, and I'm sucking on a cough drop because my allergies are through the roof because it's ragweed season.
We're going to talk today. Today's title is the $3,200 plumbing SEO flat fee screw job. I repeat it. I don't know if I said that well enough.
It's like a long time.
The $3,200 plumbing SEO flat fee screw job.
There you go.
So this is I get a few calls every once in a while from an alternate category, and I'll just tell everybody this actually came.
I thought you were going to say alternate universe. I was like, whoa, this is going to be real different.
Where's my full hat? I don't know. This was a home builder. So a home builder sees us and calls up.
Right.
But and I'm going to talk about this just so I disclose what it is, because this scenario happens all the time.
Yeah.
But this was now this guy came in here yesterday while you were gone.
Oh, that's the one who was coming in. Okay.
So he came in and I got to meet him, and he sat down, and he'd been with this company since 2017, paying $3,200 a month. I mean, this is my perfect one to talk about, and this is the most common thing that people try to do now.
Right.
This is the new sales tactic, and I've talked about it before, but a lot of these plumbers this is how they pay.
Right.
Some of the biggest companies there are that bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in digital marketing agency fees, this is how they do it now.
Right.
The big name brand ones that I won't mention, but that
you know who you are.
So this guy actually was doing this for 1.5, 2 years, and he comes in here because he's not getting any results. His website, Jason, is just horrific. Never gets worked on. It's a hodgepodge mess of stuff. It was a pretty simple thing to talk about. He's a custom home builder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, fine.
There's a lot of content you could do on there, and they probably did almost nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did do almost nothing. It didn't ever get worked on. He didn't have anything.
Right.
And so I said, he said, well, I hardly ever get any leads. He said, they've been working on my SEO for 1.5, 2 years, and I'm finally to the second page. He was like number 11. And
Okay. Stop right there. They have not been working on your SEO for 2 years.
okay, he's in a town west of here.
Okay.
With about 38,000 people in it also.
Oh my God.
So you know where he is probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's in this town of about 38,000, maybe 40,000 people.
Yeah.
And he's a custom home builder. So how many custom home builders have a web presence that actually pay for it in this town? Like
not many.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
Maybe one. Maybe none.
Yeah. He should be way up on the front page after 2 years.
So he's not in the
of
pack
good
3,
SEO.
and he's not in the top 10.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, they have not been working on your SEO for 2 years.
He said,
Let's just
what
correct
should I
that.
do? I'm worried about it. And I said, well, let's take a look at everything here. And I said, well, okay, the .com's in your name. And I said, that's good. And he said, yeah, I got that. And his name's right there on the registrar.
Excellent.
Like, okay, so you
Register your own domain. Do not let another company do it for
So
you.
you could you could change that if you wanted to, if you're worried about it. And I said, what about your Gmail? I said, you could change your Gmail. He said, oh, I've never given that to them. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? They never asked for your Gmail? I said, that runs your GMB account, your Google My Business, sir, the map. He's like, oh, no, I've never given that to him. I was like, well, there's another red flag.
So they're doing SEO but not running his GMB.
But never asked for his Google account. So this is gonna make a lot of sense to you guys if you listen to it. But yeah, so they haven't done the website, haven't done doing content, don't have a blog on it, don't have anything.
And not running the GMB.
And not running the GMB account. And so
that begs the question. What are they
doing? Well, I'm sure a lot of fancy stuff if you call up because he gets a sales routine every time he calls. So he comes in here because he has this, he had this feeling of, is this human instinct of getting screwed.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel sore.
Yeah, we all have this, this instinct of like, I think I'm getting screwed here. I don't know how to peg these web geeks, but something ain't right.
Sounds like the web geeks are pegging you.
That was inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Okay, so we're going. I'm getting
There's one for your Too Hot for YouTube.
There you go, Too Hot for YouTube. Yeah, I think Jerry Springer had a Too Hot for TV. I actually ordered the VHS tape on that one.
Did you really?
I did. I ordered a Jerry Springer Too Hot for TV. It was okay. It was funny stuff.
We're highbrow.
You remember Steve? Remember who Steve was?
Oh, yeah. Steve was famous.
Steve was awesome.
Even if you didn't watch Jerry Springer, Steve was famous.
Steve was
Everybody
the bouncer that would let people fight and then go after they beat on each other a little bit.
Okay, now I think it's gone far. Someone threw a chair vaguely in Jerry's direction.
They got in trouble one time because they let people get beat up on the show, basically.
Yeah, they went too far.
And then Steve got hired, and oh no, you're actually going to have to break these things up. But they would still let him throw a punch or two.
Yeah.
And Steve would come on.
We want the ratings, but we don't want to get sued.
There was another little overweight guy that was kind of stocky that had hair. And Steve was bald, but he, he was like Steve's sidekick.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so I'm talking to this guy, and listen, this guy's beat down, by the way.
Yeah.
He's in here.
God, what is that?
I cannot do the math. 70 grand-ish,
Yeah. He's paid them a lot of money.
Right. And it'd be one thing if they paid 70 grand and gotten, fantastic results.
If you paid 70 grand and you were on page, you were number one on page one, top of the map pack and everything else, keep paying them.
So if it's a plumber, if it's a plumber, they need daily call volume.
Right.
But this is a custom home builder, so
yeah.
The guys, and by the way, people ask, anybody tells you, so we work with a lot of plumbers, a lot of HVAC. We do a couple other general contractor type categories. That is our specialty.
Right.
And plumbing, HVAC are two of our absolute primaries.
Right.
But if somebody calls us and they're a general contractor, yeah, we do the work.
Yeah.
One thing different about us is I don't BS anybody about anything. And if you call someone and go, no, sir, we're like no plumbers only. Well, I would tell that company that says that to take all your other damn websites down and all your other categories.
That we know you have because they're competing with ours.
And quit telling people that you only work with plumbers only. Everybody out there does other types of work. Absolutely ridiculous, by the way. So it's okay that we're talking about a custom home builder. It's in our category of stuff, kind of, right?
Home services.
So he only needs 2 jobs at a time, right? Because it's homes. He had told me that. So if he's in here hurting, it means he doesn't have a custom home build job at all. And he broke. What's sad about this?
To get enough, to get enough leads to satisfy someone who, who's doing a large scale job like that, if you can't get that many leads for him, it's kind of pathetic.
Dude, it takes about 9 months to build a custom home, or a year.
He does. If he's coming to us saying I'm not getting any leads, you got to think he's getting. Like he's not getting one call in 6 months.
And we're in Dallas, Fort Worth here, by the way. This was a local. Of course, we service people all over the nation, but this guy walked in.
Yeah.
Of course, we're number one for our local keyword term with our city.
Right.
But so he comes in our office, and but we're in Dallas, Fort Worth. It's one of the biggest megatropolises there is. We've got 10 million plus people, and there's homes being built everywhere. You guys
especially we're in the Fort Worth part of Dallas Fort Worth.
It's one of the
top. Fort Worth and surrounding area is one of the top growing
in the nation.
In the nation right now.
Yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't be hard for him to get these. All right.
Yeah. No. There's a lot of opportunity. At that, paying that much for 2 years, he should have been a rock star.
Please keep listening because the screw job, just keeps going here.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. So he comes in because he'd sensed something. You can tell he's a little beat down. He's a good custom builder. He does pretty good work and just hadn't got anybody to call him. And he put his faith in this company. He's like, okay, man, I got sold. He got sold this whole bill of goods, and he bought into it, right?
Right.
So he goes in and he does this, and he starts up, and then he expects something to happen. When he calls back, oh, no, sir, man, we're working our butts off here. Things are getting better all the time.
It takes time.
It takes time. Now, things do get better. I will say that if you look at analytics, things do get better. We'll have hundreds of % increase in the first month and even months after. Many times it'll keep going up by hundreds or 25% increase, 50, and just keep going.
Right.
He probably had some increase, but not remarkable from our standpoint.
Right.
And then he's telling these, oh, you need 6 months, 8 months, it's only been...
Every 6 months, it's another 6 months.
Yeah, so he calls up and he keeps spending this money. He doesn't know where any of the money's going.
Yeah.
So this is where the plot begins to thicken on the deal. It's like, I was like, okay, sir, well, and he's saying, well, he's kind of like, well, what would you do different? And people ask this question. I said, well, what wouldn't we do different? Let's talk about it a little bit, So we'd actually you have a really cheap template website,
Right.
So we're going to have a custom WordPress design that we don't purchase a template or a theme, and we're going to do over 100 points of schema code.
Everything done in-house.
Everything in-house, and aggregate star rating, and your city pages are going to be on fire with, with the schema and the aggregate or the ordered list and all that sort of stuff. So we have all this stuff that helps delineate information on a more micro level for Google, so you don't have to guess, and it gives you a better score and grade. And then we're going to have a blog and work on that. We're going to change content and add content. We're going to integrate righteous reviews. Of course, he didn't have any of that.
Right, of course.
Righteous reviews is all over the place with our discussions, and he, is going to get set up to get that. Of course, no one had ever worked on his GMB account.
That's amazing that they've never done that.
So
that's just
we're going to do that for you. And I said, sir, that's a lot of money there. Let's talk about the $3,200, guys. You could have this happen on maybe $2,000 on where they're doing the whole little ball of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna
the bundle.
The bundle. So when we'll sell services for organic as its own little packaged stuff, but it's separate from pay-per-click, and we're going to talk about that.
If we will run pay-per-click for you, and we'll do an amazing pay-per-click campaign for you, but it will not be rolled in. It'll be a separate billing item, and you'll be able to see what you're paying.
Right. So as far as he knows, he's paid a lot of money, and he's going to really just kick butt, and somebody's spending all this on pay-per-click. Well, that would be a nice assumption if people were decent,
Yeah.
and did this stuff, but they had rolled this into one, and so he really didn't know how much money was being spent, if any.
Yeah.
While we're talking to him, the other owner, John, he's like, so I said, sir, I start to lay out. I said, okay, so they don't have the GMB account, so we know this is remiss. I said, you can look at the site and tell that it's not worked on and that it's pretty poorly done. He's like, and you see him kind of sinking down a little bit more. I said, so you get that picture, right? And I said, you have the feeling that they're not doing stuff, right? And he said, yeah. I said, so do you have transparency to your pay-per-click? And he I get the headlight stare, and I'm like,
in other words, no.
Okay, so sir, does Google bill you currently their $500 they take out at a time, or do you pay all the $3,200 to them? Oh, I'm sorry, I got off track. You could have this on $3,200. You could have it on $4,200. You could have it on $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
The more you'll pay on this, the better. How much this is like the used car deal. How much can you afford? How much can you afford to pay per month, sir? I was like, well, man, I'm gonna throw down $3,000.
Sir, is money a problem?
Yeah. I ain't scared. I'm gonna pay big money. So you could be in this for $5,000 easy. That's a common.
We've heard 15,000.
Yeah, this is common, especially with a plumber, because they're going to spend more money.
Yeah.
On if it's plumbing SEO or plumbing pay-per-click management, they're going to spend more money on their paid ads. And
Right.
so the plumber can all day long
Because they
spend 5
need
or 6.
multiple calls a day, every day.
Yeah, not everyone would, but you can easily do that. I confused myself slightly. I picked up my tea, and I saw the mirror image over there, and then I was like, is he drinking coffee too? And I'm like, I don't know. What's going on here?
Who is that mysterious stranger in the screen?
Okay. All right. So you could easily spend $5,000-$6,000 on what I used to call the shell trick.
Yeah.
And here's where the shell trick part of it comes in. As I said, so how much do they spend on the pay-per-click? And again, I get the deer in the headlight. He's like,
Because he has no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, how much do those clicks cost? And I was like, that's a good question, John. Could you check? John ran in the next room while we're talking. And I said, okay.
And he checked for that market.
Yeah, he checked for that market and for this keyword term. I said, okay, sir, while we're talking, let's just explain the fact that when we set somebody up, we charge our marketing fee separately. And so we have our marketing fee, and then your credit card goes with Google, and then that'll get pulled out separately. And just to clarify, there's not, this buy down bank. If somebody has 100 clients or 1,000 clients in pay-per-click in a group, that doesn't make the click cheaper.
Right.
So if they ever told you how much they were spending, he said, no, they never say that. Because when you call up here and you call these places, they just talk slick. Oh, well, we've got money going out for SEO. We've got money going out for mapping. We've got money going out for reputation management. Your in-house management. We went in and did your blogging. That's
Social fortress.
Yeah, the social fortress. So they take the 3,200 or the 4,000 or the 6,000 or the 2,500, and they attribute these little shell trick to it. And they go, well, we've got 500 over here, and 1,000 over here, and 500 over here, and 299 and 199. And then when they get done with it, how much do you think is left for your paid advertising budget, right?
Little to none.
Little to none. So they have this deal that, and the reason they do this is, multiple things. The first obvious thing is if they can cloud the water on your spend and you pay them directly, they can make more money.
Right.
The second reason they do it is because their SEO portion of their company is complete crap in almost every case.
Usually doesn't even exist. I mean, if they're not even doing GMB, they don't have any SEO. They're doing zero.
The biggest one they're doing zero. This is a
Yeah, I'll just say it. I mean, they're not doing very little. They're doing none.
So we've done one of these before called the shell trick.
Right.
But this one's called the flat fee screw job.
Right.
Because this is a complete quintessential flat fee screw job.
Yeah, that guy is getting absolutely, I won't even say the word.
Yeah. So he's got this going on, and he's hurting. He's not getting any calls at all. He's paying them. He's scared to leave. He's scared to do anything. But luckily, he looked up somebody. So he looked up the number one person in the market with the word SEO, right?
Right.
On a totally different site that we have, because we want to dominate our local site too,
Right.
And it's a different market and different service, right? So he calls us up off of this, and comes and finds us, which is a step in the right direction, right?
Right.
So it's smarter that a plumber, for example, getting screwed on plumbing marketing services or plumbing SEO stuff, plumber SEO, they look up a keyword and then find us up high in ranking,
Right.
instead of whoever called them, on a sales routine.
Right.
So they're seeking out a specialist in the area, and it does help, by the way. We are better at content, better at understanding the industry. So this guy's sitting here, and I'm like, okay, so, and I told him this before John walked in the room, by the way. I said, okay, so do you think, sir, that, and I didn't say it all quite like this, but I said, do you think that possibly, I was asking him questions because I'm trying to get him to understand it. Do you think that it's possible, because with what he was doing with us, it was actually going to be, I think I wrote it down, it was actually going to be, well, a little bit over $2,000
Okay.
a month spent
Right.
through our fees deducted.
If we gave him what they were claiming to give him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What ended up happening with this is that we're going to spend half as much as we could have, he's immediately going to go down in the bill. I said, I am almost 100% positive that you've gotten messed around so badly that if we spent half as much as you could have
on the ad spend,
that your phone's going to ring immediately. And so we went and did. He's now down to like 30. I'm sorry, not 30. He's at 3,200. He's going to like 2,100 or something like that.
Okay.
And that includes his ad spend. John came back in the room because this isn't a plumber.
Right.
If it's plumbing pay-per-click, y'all know, you're
it's expensive.
You're going to pay like $15 a click or something.
And
right?
That's for the cheap ones.
They've gone down a little bit.
Oh, have they gone down a little bit?
Yeah, there's been some shakedown. I'm sure that you guys can expect your other Google ads to start to go up because it had driven down the cost of pay-per-click slightly.
Right.
So you might actually, in this market, might get a plumbing click for like $10 or something. But he's a custom home builder.
Yeah.
There's not as many of them.
Yeah, I was
as
about
plumbers.
to say, that's got to be a
Guess
little.
how much the click is?
Well, like $2.
$3.
$3. Damn. Clicks in our other categories have not been $3 in a really long time.
Well, before John comes in and tells me this, I said, sir, I think that it's almost entirely improbable that they're even spending $1,000 of this.
Yeah.
He comes back in the room and John says, well, the click is $3. Now, that's what Google says anyway.
Yeah.
Online. And right then, they're probably pretty accurate now.
Yeah.
Comes back and also says if we cover the entire county, that it can't spend more than $800. And I was like, boom, got it. And because I was just doing basic math, I said, I'm going to do monkey math of what they would have done with your money to take it.
Yeah.
And after I got done adding 500 and 500, and we wrote it down, I wrote it down, SEO, mapping, GMB, management, and I was left with like $1,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and Google, when you're setting up a PPC campaign, Google will literally estimate to you based on the traffic they see in that area for that keyword, how much they'll be able to spend, how much of your ad spend can even happen. They'll recommend a budget to you based on that.
Had he actually had the amount being spent that should have through the other company, or what he would have done with us, he could have covered like 4 counties.
Wow.
So he was like looking at it and he's like, I don't even, oh, I'll tell you another little thing. Yeah, but no, the .com in this case. The .com in this case was owned by the company, well, it was in the name of the company, but he did own it.
Okay.
So it was something that we went through the whole thing with him on it. But it just kind of stank from the beginning of the whole thing.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate seeing that because it gives everybody in our industry a bad name.
Yeah.
It makes our sale harder because these guys are always suspicious
does
when they come in because this stuff has happened to them.
You guys are all shell-shocked and need psychological rehabilitation from the complete screw jobs that you get done. And even if you guys didn't get a flat fee screw job, you've been screwed before, you wouldn't be listening to us.
Right.
There's only 2 types of people that listen to us.
People who haven't done anything yet.
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
People have been screwed. People haven't done anything yet go for $99 websites.
True enough. Some of them come to us.
Nah. No.
You get one every once in a while. It's never just starting their business.
Every once in a blue.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's almost always somebody's been screwed before.
Yeah.
And the other ones are you copycatters that will never be as good as us. They just need to turn it off right now.
Can I flip off the screen and have
No.
blur it out? No, I won't do it.
All you other digital marketing agencies, just turn it off and go feel horrible.
Give up now.
Anyway, so those are the 2 people that listen to us, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that listens. And so, but yeah, I mean, he did. This guy probably had a website up before where he didn't do anything, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to throw down. I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'm going to put some money into it, and that's what the sad part is. That guy was doing the right thing. Yeah. In terms of
he was
trying to find a
professional
to spend enough money
spending
to
some
pay
money
for to get his marketing done. He just unfortunately picked the wrong company.
Yep, he did. So I've said this before. If you spend nothing, like $2.99 or something like that, you have a glorified hosting fee.
Right.
You have what I call glorified hosting, meaning the site goes up. There's no ability to have skilled human labor. And I don't know why a plumber would say, I think $300 is plenty for high-end professional labor.
How much high-end professional plumbing do you do for $300 a month?
Right. Right.
It's like, I mean, how many hours of labor do you eat up with $300?
Yeah, especially if you get into any high-end technical plumbing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go clear a drain out for $250.
Yeah.
$99 if you're up north for some reason. I don't know why it's so cheap up there.
I have no
Anyway,
idea.
but you got whole companies doing it. I don't know if they must nibble them for money or something. Right?
Yeah, it's a get in there and
Yeah. But anyway,
run them up.
so yeah, you can't do high-end technical work though, right?
Right.
You're not going to go locate the leak and start jackhammering up stuff, but that's what you need the equivalent of every month on your website. And other people are paying to have people do lots of intricate things like we do here.
Right.
But just because, unfortunately, you spend a lot of money with a digital marketing agency doesn't mean the digital marketing agency is going to give you high-quality work.
Sadly.
Sadly, that's the truth. But there are a few good agencies, and we happen to be one of them. And when I say a few,
One good agent.
I don't think... I was talking to somebody that works here, you know who I was talking to, that knows about all the SEO stuff. So,
Yeah.
and we don't think there's, like, how many are there in our league? Not necessarily just in our specialties.
Yeah.
We think there's about 100 of them.
Yeah.
So
Nationwide.
Nationwide. Now there are 100,000 listed people with SIC code or governmental
Digital
code.
marketing agency. Or
There's
whatever.
about 100,000 of them, but there's probably about 100 of them decent. Now, if you're a plumber and you want someone to get in intricate and know what types of plumbing pumps and lift station pumps and pump grinders and whatever, you may not do any of that, or types of water heaters or whatever, and you want someone to write great content and optimize properly on GMB and do all that, there's like 3.
Yeah.
You have like 3 choices. We're the best and the least expensive, but there's a couple other places you can go,
Right.
and one or two of those 3, if not all of them, will bundle your pricing
Right.
and give you a flat fee screw job.
Right.
And so let's repeat. Why would someone do this? Well, they got paid $3,200 for almost 2 years.
Right.
We're going to get paid a fraction of that for the organic pulled apart. And I will tell you this too, in all likelihood, once this organic works,
The
and
PVC goes away.
Right.
You
Does
don't
he
need it.
Does he need it?
No.
No, because he only needs like 3 houses a year.
Right.
4 maximum.
And we can get that. If he had paid,
He will get that.
imagine this person
Yeah.
paying us $3,200 for 2 years. He would own the custom home building market on this side of the Metroplex.
I hate to say this out loud, but around where he is, he's going to be paying us for darn near a decade to reach that level
Yeah.
on his organic side of things.
Right.
Because supposedly this went towards paid, but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So they waxed fat and took all this off the top. Let's just say they made an average of 20.
One thing they did, I guarantee, and we know this, is they did pay-per-click on his own company name. And that way, anytime he put his name in, he would see himself at the top of the page there, and he'd go, "Oh, that's awesome! They're doing it."
Yeah, we know they do that. They being most.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah.
Now, there's a whole separate issue right now that people are getting angry with Google at in terms of brand names on paid. Did you hear about Basecamp?
No.
Basecamp is a company that makes piece of productivity software for companies like ours. And Google allows other people to do PPC on your brand name. Like you can pay-per-click your...
Back in the day, like in 04, 05, when I first started doing this stuff, they didn't allow it.
Yeah, they do now. They don't allow you to use Google's name, by the way. But
Right.
you can use your competitor's name. And a company called Basecamp, they put up a Google ad. They did their own name for #1 spot on PPC, and it said, "Basecamp, we don't want to run this ad. We're a small company, but we're forced to run this ad in order to protect our name because Google holds us hostage."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That went up this week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been all
What
over
happened?
the place. It's still up.
We should have thought of that. That'd be
We
awesome.
should do that. We should do that. But yeah, we should totally steal their idea. And but that being aside, yeah, these companies will put up PPC on your brand name, which is not probably, if you're a local plumber or something, your actual company name is not going to have high search volume, so the click is cheap. And they
Right.
do that as a kind of manipulation so that you'll put your own name in. Because we hear this all the time for our own clients. They'll say, "Oh, well, when I put my own name in, I see this or this." And So these companies do this. They pay-per-click your name, so you put it in, you see yourself pop up there, and you go, oh, they're working for me.
They're doing it. Yeah, they're. So I guess I don't know what the moral of this is. You need to have your stuff split out. You need transparent billing.
You need transparency. You need to know where your money's going.
Yeah.
When we like he was saying before, which he may not have said perfectly clearly.
That happens a lot. I have random thoughts.
When you do a PPC campaign with us, you will see our administrative fee here in this column. And you will see on your credit card bill, a bill from Google, not from us,
right,
for your $500 at a time. That's even if your ad budget's $2,000. I think they do it 500 at a time, right?
Yes, they do currently. They do currently.
As of this recording.
And let me expand this little subject.
Right.
So if somebody says, "Oh no, I get reports on that, Nolan. I'm protected. How dare you say that I don't know what's going on?" And if the reports aren't directly from Google, or if your card's not charged, do you think maybe the reports aren't accurate?
If you're getting a third-party report, what they've done, and I'm not going to speak to the ethical issue on this, but what they've done is they've marked up the click. They're regarding it as a thing of value that they procured for you and resold to you.
How would
just
this
be any other goods?
How would this be done from like a traditional marketing agency format? What would you call that when they mark the value of the advertising up?
That's what it is. I mean, in your traditional advertising, which was like print and TV,
right?
You did the ad buy, and you bid out, and you did the media buy for whatever kind of media it was, billboard, TV,
right,
magazine ad, whatever, and then you marked up the
That's
cost
what the
of it
agency
to the
did.
Yeah, that's
Here's
what
the problem.
That's how they made their money.
Here's the problem for this method being used. This is a plumber.
Right.
It's not Lucky Strike or Delta.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the coming of the internet allowed small agencies and little one-off dudes working in their garage even to behave like madmen.
Right.
You know, and that's part of the issue. And yeah, so if
these
you're getting
guys
a
don't
third-party
even
report and you're not seeing. When we give you a report, we let you into Google Analytics, and you can see the straight dope from the source.
Yeah.
We don't obfuscate anything in there. So you see Google showing you how many clicks, how much organic.
What is that word? I like that word.
Obfuscate.
Obfuscate. I can't even say that.
To obscure or hide.
Okay. That's pretty good, man. I like that one.
Nolan makes a lot of comments about my vocabulary.
I wish. No, I'm going to start getting some of those cue cards, where you just learn a big word and just like drop it.
Word of the day, toilet
Boom.
paper.
Yeah. Do they have that?
They do.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I had a gig once where we had this one dude in our office who every presentation he would use these obscure big words that like even I had to look them up. I had no freaking idea what he was saying. Yeah. And one day one of the VPs came in and said, "I do not want to have to bring a thesaurus to my meetings with you. Cut it out." And he had to start bringing it down.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, and I don't know. As far as this is concerned, we will. So what we do with an organic presence is that we build design code, content blogging, citations, GMB account work, and then we roll in a reputation management system called Righteous Reviews.
Right on.
And that's all together, but not pieced out. Now, if we pieced it out, a couple things would happen. It wouldn't be quality enough to be able to optimize.
It wouldn't work as well because it wouldn't be integrated together.
And if we began to piece it all out, it would cost you way more, right? So even Righteous Reviews got added onto it and didn't up the pricing of it for our clients, but it's incredibly important because if you don't have all those components, it doesn't work well. Now, nobody that we ever see has all these components on their website.
Right.
In fact, if they did, they wouldn't listen to this or watch it, and they wouldn't call us in the first place.
Because they wouldn't have anything missing. Everything would be working.
Yeah, it'd be
enough.
enough.
There is a difference between an integrated approach and a bundled approach.
Yeah.
A bundle is a whole bunch of separate stuff that gets tied together in an artificial way. Integrated mean it all meshes
That's
together.
a good point to make. So I like to refer to it, for plumbing, plumbers looking at this, or plumber SEO stuff is like an OEM or an original part.
Right.
When we do things from a skilled basis and we do it from the ground up, everything that we do is coded properly and written in, and we add things like righteous reviews. The short code goes in on individual city and service pages, allowing full functionality of reviews and geotagging and pictures and captions and all that.
Right.
Otherwise, after a third-party system gets set up, it's a far cry from what it could have been.
Right. You had a discussion with a client earlier this week that said you were talking about righteous reviews, and this person said, "Oh yeah, I've already got all that. My review thing does that."
Right.
And we came back and said, "Well, actually, no."
It doesn't do that.
Because it doesn't integrate on those other pages. It dumps all these reviews and check-ins on one
Because you bought an
page.
aftermarket deal and slapped it onto the cruddy website that did not have city and service
He bought an
pages.
aftermarket deal that was a white label of another aftermarket deal.
That's right.
He was 2 steps removed from OEM.
Yeah, it was
like,
white labeling of another product.
right.
Yeah. Being pushed by a supplier.
Yeah, one of his suppliers.
A large supplier that was getting a little payola on the side.
Yeah. Which brings me to that.
Yeah.
Be suspicious of your suppliers at least a little bit. I know you gotta work with them, obviously, but don't. If your supplier comes in and says, "Hey, if you buy X amount from us or you use us exclusively, you get access to this software," or something like that. Don't just jump in. Do some research first, because they're not doing that out of the kindness of their heart. They're getting something for it.
Yeah.
Now, it can be a symbiotic relationship where everybody benefits. But most of the time, you guys know it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
So
I'd never seen it.
Yeah.
If that
I'm giving people the benefit
if
of the
that
doubt. I'm
happens-
slightly less cynical than
yeah,
Nolan.
please. It's a large company doing this, man.
Yeah.
And they
Actually, the bigger the company, the less likely it is to
they
be.
white labeled it to get a little cut of the deal. I didn't
Yeah.
ask him how much it was, but
Yeah.
why would they even care? They like get $100 on a reseller of something.
They get enough guys doing it, it becomes,
I guess
you know,
you get like 5,000 people buying
yeah, all of a
it.
sudden it's significant.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. I guess, gosh, guys, I guess that makes sense though. This was a good one. I liked it. So hopefully this isn't happening to you. If you have,
If it is, call us.
I want to say one last thing. If you have somebody that attempts to bundle, instead of integrate, like attempts to bundle any paid with organic effort,
Right.
you should beware. Because it's not just the fact that
Or even 2 different paid efforts, like paid Google and paid social.
Yeah.
Those shouldn't be bundled either. Those should be
They should be
treated
separated.
as separate because they function very differently.
Yeah, they function differently, and it's ways to kind of befuddle you or hide the money under the shell, and you don't know what happened. I also would very, very easily argue, if you knew everything that I know, that if somebody is bundling paid with organic, that their organic sucks really bad.
Right.
So, because if they don't bundle the paid, their organic sucks so bad that you'll experience no results and they can't maintain the client at all.
Right.
I would also say that how much horrible could it get than a 3,200 or a 5,200 flat fee screw job? Oh, you could sign a 12-month agreement for the flat fee screw job.
Realize you're screwed 3 months in and have to pay for another 9 months.
And be in the damn thing. So
Yeah.
that's why...
Which we've also seen.
Because so many of you guys get screwed around in one format or another, we do month-to-month agreements. Even though most of our clients stay for years, they're not bound to us because y'all are also shell-shocked from all the many screwings that you've had.
Right.
That we've had to do it that way in order to make everybody feel comfortable.
I like to say we earn your business every month.
We do, and we do. All right. I'm done. You done?
I'm done.
Give us a call. We'll see you.
Take it easy.